Hey everybody, Sacred Studios here, and after a quick detour, we are back to me getting a figure of every single Smash fighter in a 1/12 scale. Today we have Pichu from Pokemon. Pichu is my first custom figure that is entirely resin printed besides the joints, and despite Pichu's huge popularity, there really hasn't been an articulated figure of him. I mean, technically you get those little toys that can move their heads around, but those are way too small for a Smash Bros. 1/12 scale. Anyways, let's get into making this little dude. So Pichu's Smash Ultimate model doesn't really have any sculpting or any facial details, so I guess it was done entirely using textures. So I got the model from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet instead. This is only slightly better since while Pichu at least had eyes, he was still missing any mouth details. So I did the best to sculpt one myself, but the 3D modeling abilities that I have definitely aren't great. So I ended up just printing what I had and sculpting the mouth manually. I printed 4 heads. 1 basic head, 1 angry, 1 super happy, and 1...
You got knocked the f*** out, man!
All the heads turned out super good, except the support layers left these little bumps all over them. Also, this one head printed way too low, so the support layer got stuck to him. If this was a more difficult figure, this would have been a deal breaker, but since it's Pichu, having to manually sculpt so much is just a minor inconvenience. So smoothing out Pichu's 5 o'clock shadow was simple enough, especially with the help of the epoxy. Then I had to drill out holes for the articulation joints and the tiny tail. To attach these parts, I got the joints from Amazon. Usually when I use these joints, I need 1 or 2 of them. This time I needed 7. Before attaching them, I wanted to dye them yellow first, that way I wouldn't have to deal with any paint rub if I just painted them yellow. This is also why I try to get white joints instead of any other colors, since you can just dye the joints whatever color you need. So now this guy's fully assembled, it has become very clear that Pichu is very top heavy. I hear there's a way to print resin with different infills in order to mitigate this problem, but for now, he will ironically be one of the more heavier figures I've made. Now let's disassemble Pichu again and start priming. I bought a new airbrush for this project, and it's a lot more powerful than I expected. Now while I was waiting for the primer to dry, one of Pichu's limbs got blown away, and I'm not home right now with my 3D printer, so I had to wait 3 weeks and pretty much put Pichu on hold. After going back home and printing another set of limbs, we could finally start painting. And this is going to be a lot of yellow. And obviously Pichu is not a member of the Big 7, or the 7 hardest figures for me to make in this journey to get every Smash fighter. It has been a long time since I've made a Big 7 figure, and I want to keep it that way, to be frank. Remember guys, Marth took me 2 months to make. Before I paint the facial details, I want to hit it with a Mr. Super Clear Matte Finish Spray. This stuff not only gives the figure a professional quality, it also protects from paint rub as well. Next up, I'm painting the details on the ear, the tail, and the body. Pichu is so simple, it only consists of 4 colors. While I'm painting this, I did want to quickly mention that the Sacred Studio shop will be opening very soon, so please keep an eye out for it. Anyways, for extra detail, I added a little bit of brown highlight to Pichu's eyes using a watercolor pencil. Now I just gotta put everything together. You can use hot glue to make the joints more snug, and Pichu is finished. We are technically done, but I decided to print out some accessories. I always thought Pichu's alternate costumes were cute, so I wanted to recreate some of them for this figure. I specifically chose the Team Skull and Team Aqua bandana, because for some reason Pichu being a respected member of a gang makes him even more cute. Just like with Pichu, I colored the base layer and hit it with some matte spray, then painted on the details. I also went in with my Derwent watercolor pencils to outline where the paint was going to go, just so I could paint in between the lines. And without further ado, roll the money shot. And that's Pichu, everyone. Now again, please keep an eye out for the Sacred Studio shop that will be opening very soon, and my next video will go into more detail about that. Now remember, I'm making multiple of these, so there's not going to be any rush to get these at all. But with that said, Sacred out.